guys here to help us hash it all out, and it was a crazy week. Matt McCall, David Nelson, Jim Frischling, Hillary Kramer, and Steve Forbes, Forbes Media Chairman and Editor-in-Chief. And Steve Cortez, he joins us again from Palm Springs. We feel so sorry for Steve. Hey. All right, so what did you make of the session, Jim?
No, actually, I really agree with Steve. I think people are getting a little nervous about earnings. I think companies are talking down expectations. We're about to end the first quarter, and I think people don't want to be on the wrong side of a weak earnings sentiment. You know, crude, Nicole was talking about crude having a great pop, despite the fact that there's inventory buildup. So I think people are a little mistrusting of how to bet on that because it's going to be very volatile in the oil space.
Although there's the geopolitical risk now. All of a sudden, Iran is flexing its muscle all over the place. Saudi Arabia steps up to the plate. We've got distinct battle lines being drawn with these countries, and this looks like something that may be out of our control, America's control.
Well, I agree. I actually think Saudi's number one focus in terms of the oil war they're inflicting is looking at Iran. The marginal U.S. players, I think, is a secondary or unintended consequence, but I do think it is Iran. But again, to me, everything I heard today was concern about earnings coming up as we put this quarter to bed.
Guys, I want to ask the other stock pickers, if we do start to see a string of takeovers, particularly in the semiconductor space, you have a name?
Oh, I didn't think about the semiconductor space, but I did.
But what do you think might be next? It doesn't have to be
sure.
Siemens, but
actually, I'm going to throw out. It's going to be a large company because I think Netflix is going to have to be but I think it's going to get taken out. Whether it's Alibaba, Google, or Yahoo. Fact is, high stock prices allow people to use that stock for acquisition purposes.
They've lost faith in government, and some have even lost faith in capitalism, and that's tragic.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I think uncertainty is a good word. I think it's real. I think the lost faith. I'd like to be a little stronger. I think there's a mistrust, and I think there's an element of potentially people suspecting that there's some level of manipulation. And I'm not, we talk about the Fed, we talk about the central banks all over the world flooding this market with capital. And I think that creates a little bit of distrust of how did this all happen? Right. Why are we at all-time highs? And how much of it is predicated on these central banks?
Well, I know that, Jim. Real quick.
Put on your boots. Go to Walmart. You get the discount gas card. They're going to drive traffic, and I'm telling you that is a powerhouse and a very nice dividend.
All right, Steve, any chance? Jim, what do you think?
No, I think it's a good combination of value and growth. And you mentioned Home Depot. According to Home Depot and Lowe's, appliances are selling. So I think there is going to be a good tailwind for this thing, and it's going to go further. Right. Competition is stiff, but I think Whirlpool's going to be fine.
There's no doubt about that. By the way, if they can start getting a couple of their sneakers on that list, I think it takes the stock to a whole new level, Jim.
I mean, I love Steph Curry. He was also the number one vote getter of the NBA. My concern is they didn't get Kevin Durant. He stayed with Nike. Nike drives most of their revenues from footwear. Under Armour is an apparel company. But I will tell you this, they are going to make inroads. And Steph Curry, as Matt said, the kids love him.
Speaking of inroads, this year, Under Armour overtook Adidas as the #2 sports apparel company. And I got to tell you,